Now it's time for Quarantine Tonight. Live from an undisclosed location north of the Platte River, here's your host, Mike Flood.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're here on a Monday night. Yes, this is live. It's February 22nd. It's the day before the annual celebration of my birth. Yes. Tomorrow, Rotary International was founded that day in 1920, February 23rd. But tonight, it's my birthday eve, and we're celebrating it here with beautiful Irish music. In fact, a friend of mine told me about this band. I want to say it's been almost 9 months ago, and we have waited to get them on, and we are so lucky to have them tonight. You're going to hear Paddywhack, and this band actually, we'll get to it in a second here, they've been together 41 years, and they all still get along. Believe it or not, they're friends off the camera as well. We'll talk to them. You'll hear some music that I guarantee you will not find on any other channel anywhere in the Cornhusker State on your dial. You're going to love it. What are we doing this week? Well, we've got a big week. Tonight, of course, traditional Irish music. It's our first foray into that. And then tomorrow night, we've got the Shadow Ridge Band, country music on your Tuesday night, the 23rd. And then February 24th, this Wednesday, Johnny Ray Gomez is actually going to host the show for two reasons. Number one is he does a great job. Number two, he's put together, and this is, you've seen him as my fill-in host, he's put together a collection of aspiring artists from across the state of Nebraska, and they are going to knock your socks off with some of their sounds, their vocals, their music. It's going to be a night of different faces, and we're really, really, really looking forward to it. And then as we look ahead here in the next 2 weeks, of course, next week, can you believe it? It's girls' state basketball. And so we're going to be doing some replays. And the reason we do replays on our show is we're giving our crews a chance to heal up and get ready to showcase women's and girls' basketball at the state tournament. And it's very important we do that because there's a lot of grandmas and grandpas that can't go due to the COVID. And then the following week, we'll have some more replays with plenty of boys' state basketball. And then we've got all sorts of live stuff coming because as soon as girls' state basketball is over, we're going to 5 nights of Quarantine Tonight, Monday through Friday, Quarantine Tonight all the time, a mix of live shows and some replays, and we are on the downhill slide into warmer weather with lots more bands that can maybe come out and play. All right, let's start tonight. We're going to go to Hardington, Nebraska, Cedar County, for Padre, he goes by Padre, but Father James Kiter on News Channel Nebraska.
Good evening, Nebraska. My name is Father James Kiter. I'm pastor of All Saints Parish, St. Rose of Lima Parish, and Holy Family Parish in northern Cedar County and northern Knox County. Let us pray. Lord God, in times of trial and struggles, we also experience your many blessings, and so we thank you. We thank you for the gift of your Son, Jesus Christ. We thank you for the gift of grace, the gift of your mercy, the gift of your love. We thank you for the gift of life. In this spring season, as we see everything turn green and the crops begin to grow that have been planted, we recognize how great you are. And so, Lord, as we enjoy the music and the talents of individuals from across Nebraska, may we give thanks for your many blessings, your many graces that you bestow upon us. In a special way, we pray for those who have been struggling because of this coronavirus. We pray for them. We lift them up to you, trusting that your care, that your healing, that your peace may envelop them and give them strength, give them courage, and give them hope. Thank you, God, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, for all that you give us today and every day. Amen.
Nice to see Father Kiter from the Fordyce metropolitan area up there in northern Cedar and Knox County. Does a great job for us, and we know we've got a lot of viewers up there on the South Dakota-Nebraska border. Want to welcome you, and thanks for having us in your Your living room. All right. So this is our first time. Terry is here. We've got Paddywhack, this whole crew here. This has been a band that we have been hoping to get on our program since the program started. It comes on the recommendation of a good mutual friend of ours named Paul. Terry, this band is not, this isn't your first rodeo. This band has been together for 41 years. Is that right?
At least 41 years, yeah. Yes. Off and on.
Would you do a favor and just introduce everybody?
Of course I will, yeah. To my immediate left here on the guitar is John Baylor from Lincoln. We're all from Lincoln, actually. Chris Sayre on the guitar. He's going to play a concertina for you. He's going to do some mandolin stuff. Dave Marsh, who plays about every instrument you can think of down there with the accordion. He has a drum called the baron that he'll play for you, some whistles and a flute. And anything else, Dave? Did I miss anything?
Not tonight.
And not just a whistle, he brought a quiver of whistles.
A quiver. That's right.
He's got how many of them there? I want to say like 8 or 9.
Well, you need, with the whistles, you don't have keys for sharps and flats, so you need different whistles, kind of like a harmonica. You need different whistles for different keys.
So I flunked out on the, what do they call it, the recorder in 5th grade.
Yeah.
Those are like souped. Oh, now you're bringing out a crowbar.
That's right. Look out. Behave well yourself tonight. This is the low whistle, which would be an octave below. It's the
high whistle.
Right.
High whistle.
In the key of
Low whistle.
Of a flute, really, but it's blown this way instead of cross blown.
Wow. So, Terry, tell me, what's the history of Paddywhack? This is a Lincoln area band. You've performed all over the state. You know people in a lot of counties. Where did this come from?
That's right. Well, I wasn't there in the very beginning. Chris and a gentleman by the name of Dan Newton, who's up in Minneapolis now playing music, were the originators of it. Chris, you want to talk about how that happened?
Well, very quickly, we just kind of started getting together to play music, and we're at an old a bar downtown. One night, this guy walks in and starts playing a drum, and we added a couple other guys. This guy was friends of Dan's, and we kind of have a few members that are no longer with us, but it's been kind of a long history, and we just started playing. We were really one of the first first band that would play Irish music in Nebraska that was considered that, and so we started playing at some places up in Omaha and in Lincoln quite a bit. We were kind of the band that people wanted to come see because we were so different.
Right.
Yeah.
And what's the furthest west you've gone to in Nebraska to perform?
Sydney. We gone further.
Well, we were in Imperial.
Imperial, yeah.
You can't get much further west
Crawford.
than Sydney.
We
did Crawford, so we've been pretty much everywhere.
We've
The
been
Nebraska
everywhere,
Arts
man.
Council endorses this group. In fact,
Right.
they paid to add this Irish music across the state, which I think is fantastic. And tonight these guys came out during the COVID to share their talents with all of us, and I know that there's going to be a lot of smiles in a lot of living rooms all over the Cornhusker State. Ladies and gentlemen, on News Channel Nebraska, please welcome Paddywhack.
Thank you so much. We'll start things off with a children's song that came from Belfast, and we'll kind of throw in some tunes in between here. Oh, tell me, Ma, when I go home, the boys won't leave the girls alone. They pull my hair, they stole my comb, but that's all right till I go home. She is handsome, she is pretty, she's the belle of Belfast City. She's a courtin' 1, 2, 3, please won't you tell me who is she? Albert Mooney says he loves her, all the boys are fighting for her. Rapping at the door and ringing at the bell, saying, oh, my true love, are you well? Out she comes as white as snow, with rings on her fingers and bells on her toes. Old Jenny Murphy says she'll die if she doesn't get the fella with the roving eye. Tell me, Ma, when I go home, the boys won't leave the girls alone. They pull my hair, they stole my comb, but that's all right till I go home. She is handsome, she is pretty, she's the belle of Belfast City. She's a carton, 1, 2, 3. Please won't you tell me who is she? Let the wind and the rain and the hail blow high, the snow come tumbling from the sky. She's as sweet as apple pie, she'll get her own lad by and by. When she gets a lad of her own, she won't tell her mama when she gets home. Let they come as all they will, it's John Baylor that she loves still. Tell me, Ma, when I go home, the boys won't leave the girls alone. They pull my hair, they stole my comb, but that's all right till I go home. She is handsome, she is pretty, she's the belle of Belfast City. She's the carton, 1, 2, 3. Please won't you tell me who is she? Thank you. All right. You know, we've always done Paddywhack all 41 or 42 years or whatever it's been. It's always done a lot of sea shanties, so here's Chris Sayer to tell you about this next one.
It must be because we're from Nebraska and we're landlocked that we have this fascination with songs from the sea. And where did I hear that? Somebody said this was the year of the sea shanty.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. So here's one of our favorites called Lever, Johnny, Lever. Oh, I thought I heard the old man say, Lever, Johnny, lever, you can go ashore and spend your pay.
And it's time for us to leave her.
Oh,
Lever, Johnny, lever. Oh, lever, Johnny, lever. You can go ashore and spend your pay. And it's time for us to leave her.
Oh, the day is done and the work is through.
Lever, Johnny, lever.
And the captain's drunk and so's the crew.
And it's time for us to leave her.
Oh,
Lever, Johnny, lever. Oh, lever, Johnny, lever. Oh, the captain's drunk and so's the crew. And it's time for us to leave her.
Oh, I wish it was 1,000 miles from here.
Lever, Johnny, lever.
In a warm, dark pub, drinking good dark beer.
And it's time for us to leave her.
Oh,
Lever, Johnny, lever. Oh, lever, Johnny, lever. In a warm, dark pub, drinking good dark beer. And it's time for us to leave her.
So we went on shore just the other night.
Lever, Johnny, lever.
And we howled like cats in the pale moonlight.
And it's time for us to leave her.
Oh,
Lever, Johnny, lever. Oh, lever, Johnny, lever. And we howled like cats in the pale moonlight. And it's time for us to leave her.
So I stepped on into an English bar.
Lever, Johnny, lever.
And a crusty old Frenchman broke my jaw.
And it's time for us to leave her.
Oh,
Lever, Johnny, lever. Oh, lever, Johnny, lever. And the crusty old Frenchman broke my jaw. And it's time for us to leave her.
so I stepped on into an Irish pub.
Lever, Johnny, lever.
And an Irish lass gave me nose a rub.
And it's time for us to leave her.
Oh,
Lever, Johnny, lever. Oh, lever, Johnny, lever. And an Irish lass gave me nose a rub. And it's time for us to leave her.
so we went back on board with this Irish lass.
Lever, Johnny, lever.
And she drank all her whiskey and she stole all her cash.
And it's time for us to leave her.
Oh,
Lever, Johnny, lever. Oh, lever, Johnny, lever. And she drank all her whiskey and she stole all her cash. And it's time for us to leave her.
oh,
Lever, Johnny, lever. Oh, lever, Johnny, lever. You can go ashore and spend your pay. And it's time for us to leave her.
thank you. Just like the sailors used to sing it, you know.
I guess next we're going to do a nice slow air for you. This is actually a Scottish air. We don't discriminate. We do Scottish tunes. This is a beautiful one called Archibald MacDonald of Keppoch. Thank you. All right.
Good job, guys.
Here's one. It's actually a contemporary tune, actually written by an American, by a guy by the name of Steve Earle, you may have heard of. But he writes songs, you know, he wrote this one about a girl from Galway, and he makes it sound like it's an Irish tune. And we'll give it a try right here. Well, I took a stroll on the old long walk of a day. I met a little girl and we stopped to talk of a fine soft day. And I asked you, friend, what's a fella to do if her hair is black and her eyes are blue? Well, I knew right then I'd be taking a whirl round the Salt Hill Prom with the Galway girl. We were halfway home when the rain came down of a day. She asked me up to her flat downtown of a fine soft day. And I asked you, friend, what's a fella to do if her hair is black and her eyes are blue? Well, I took her hand and I gave her a twirl, and I lost my heart to a Galway girl. Well, when I woke up, I was all alone of a day, with a broken heart and a ticket home of a fine soft day, And I ask you now, what's a fella to do if her hair is black and her eyes are blue? Well, I've traveled around, been all over this world. I ain't never seen nothing like a Galway girl.
Well, you won't find that on any other channel tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, Paddywhack right here on News Channel Nebraska. I'd say it sounds pretty good. How often are you able to play during coronavirus, COVID?
Gosh, it's been over a year, I think.
Has
since
it
we've
been really
together.
since you've been able to play?
I've had 3 gigs in the last year. One of them was with him at a winery over the summer.
Outside, yeah, outside in the
We
nice
have one
weather.
coming up in Red Cloud.
Oh, good. Webster County.
Of March, so.
Oh, is that something to do with Willa Cather?
Well,
It's just
it's in her
Arts Council.
opera house.
Is it really? Okay. I love Willa Cather. Oh, pioneers, by the way. Well, you're getting some traditional Irish music, which should be getting you in the mood for a warmer March. Yes. And I just read that the AccuWeather forecasting group in State College, Pennsylvania, just said that the cold snap we had bodes well for the most active tornado season they've seen in the Midwest.
Oh, some good news. Yeah.
That totally makes sense, doesn't it? I mean, why wouldn't we just try and top 2020?
Oh, boy.
Oh, my goodness, yeah. Well, we are lucky to have Paddywhack here with us tonight. They're going to be back here in just a moment. We're going to water the band, and we're going to check the Mike's mailbag, which we haven't had a chance to do lately. Let's go to it. We get letters from all over the state, and we love them. And we prefer them in the U.S. mail. And we prefer them when you write them and tell us what you think. Here's one from Mary Ann in Marysville, Kansas. Thank you so much for the music. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Mary Ann. By the way, I got a letter yesterday from Casper, Wyoming. Yes. Here's Gerald in Dodge County. We thank you for the music, and we enjoy all of the bands. All of the music is great. Well, thank you, Gerald. We appreciate that. And then let's go to Ralston, Nebraska. Thank you so much for this TV show. I like all the bands that play. Well, I'd say we're doing pretty good with those letters. We like getting them. And if you've got some comments, you want to share your thoughts, maybe you yourself are just enjoying Paddywhack tonight. That's Pattywhack, right? Did I spell that right? Or is it Padd?
It's DD. 2 Ds.
Okay.
In Ireland, Paddy is short for for Padraig, which is Patrick, but it's spelled Padraig. So over in Ireland they call it Paddy.
I have a brother Patrick. Maybe we should spell his name Padraig. Raig. Padraig. Yeah. Oh, that's
He'd
good.
like that.
I bet he would. He actually lives in Bangkok, of all places.
Okay.
So, by the way, what is your plan for St. Patrick's Day?
We're playing it COVID safe yet. At least I have turned down the bar scene gigs.
Oh, yeah. Have you ever been to O'Neill on St. Patrick's
many
Day?
times. Many times.
Oh, yeah.
We know O'Neill well.
I bet O'Neill loves this.
They do.
They have the green horse up there, you know.
And the shamrock in the middle.
And the shamrock in the middle. And you know what? They have gotten the raw end of the deal for years because 2019 we had the bomb cyclone dump all that water, and the people of O'Neill were out of business for St. Patrick's Day.
Yes.
And then 2020, well, obviously we know what happened there. We're going to take a quick break. More with Paddywhack coming up on NCN. I was doing such a good job and the microphone was off. I want to welcome you back to News Channel Nebraska. We are here on Quarantine Tonight. Want to thank our sponsors, the Heritage at Fountain Point and Do Right Now. These two have teamed up to help us put shows like this on as often as we can, and we are loving Paddywhack tonight. This group out of Lincoln entertaining us with some Irish music on News Channel Nebraska.
Thank you very much. And we're going to start this set with a Irish version of a Scottish tune that's known all over the British Isles called Nancy Whiskey. Oh, I'm a weaver, a Cowton weaver. I'm a rake and a roving blade. I've got silver in my pocket. I think I'll follow the roving way. Whiskey, whiskey, Nancy, whiskey. Oh, whiskey, whiskey, Nancy, oh. As I walked into Dublin City, Nancy whiskey I chanced to smell. I walked in, sat down beside her. It's 7 long years now I've loved her well. Whiskey, whiskey, Nancy, whiskey. Oh, whiskey, whiskey, Nancy, oh. Here's Terry Keith. So early in the morning, slaked my thirst, it was my need. I tried to rise, but I was not able. Nancy had me by the knees. Whiskey, whiskey, Nancy. Nancy, whiskey. Oh, whiskey, whiskey, Nancy, oh. Tell me, landlady, now what's the owing? Tell me what there is to pay. 15 shillings is the owing. So pay me quickly and then go away. Whiskey, whiskey, Nancy, whiskey. Oh, whiskey, whiskey, Nancy, oh. So I'll go back to Calton weaving. I'll surely make those shuttles fly, and I'll make more at Calton weaving than e'er I did in the roving way. Whiskey, whiskey, Nancy, whiskey. Oh, whiskey, whiskey, Nancy, oh. Come all you weavers, you Calton weavers. Come all you weavers, where'er you be. Beware of whiskey, Nancy, whiskey. She'll ruin you like she's ruined me. Whiskey, whiskey, Nancy, whiskey. Oh, whiskey, whiskey, Nancy, oh. Whiskey, whiskey, Nancy, whiskey. Oh, whiskey, whiskey, Nancy, oh. Thank you. Yeah, I switched up.
That's Chris Sayer there for you.
You noticed.
So we'll do a set of tunes for you now. These are hornpipes. Hornpipes are slower, a little bit slower, not as slow as a waltz or something like that, but it's a little bit slower, but people love to dance to it over in Ireland, and this is a set of 3 hornpipes. Walsh's hornpipe, Boys of Blue Hill, and the Harvest Home.
And Chris is going to play his concertina.
Oh, that's right. A new instrument
English
for you.
concertina as opposed to the Anglo concertina. We have 2 squeeze boxes on this stage.
Yeah. It is shaped like kind of like a stop sign. All right, Terry's going to start this one out.
Kelsey McGuire, PA with Jefferson Community Health and Life. We're offering something new to our patients at
Thank you. All right, we'll get Dave to tell you about this next one because he's going to be featured on it.
Oh, this will be fun.
All right, this is about a guy who wants to get away from his wife and family and troubles for a few days and go out on a little excursion with his buddies. Actually, this comes from a band up in Newfoundland by the name of Great Big Sea. Some Irish immigrants up there. And so he gets on board, and they're just ready to set sail, and he looks overboard, and he sees that his wife had the same idea. And let's just say things don't go very well for her on this little excursion. What did you see?
I don't know, Dave. No, I just follow you.
Well, it was on a Monday morning, the day be calm and fine, for a Harbor Grace excursion with the boys who had the time. But just before the sailor to the gangway from the pier, I saw some fella haul me wife aboard the Volunteer. Oh me, oh my, I heard me old wife cry. Oh me, oh my, I think I'm gonna die. Oh me, oh my, I heard me old wife say, I wish I'd never taken this excursion around the bay. We had 1,400 souls aboard. Oh, what a splendid sight. Me strong to make our spirits bright. And myself being in the double, what a funny thing they'd say. They choke themselves from laughing when they see us in the bay. Oh me, oh my, I heard me old wife cry. Oh me, oh my, I think I'm gonna die. Oh me, oh my, I heard me old wife say, I wished I would never taken this excursion around the bay. Well, my wife, she turned ill. She turned a sickly green. We fed her cake and candy, fat pork and kerosene.
Kerosene?
I tried every place in Harbor Grace, every store and shop, to get her something for a cure or take her to the hop. Oh me, oh my, I heard me old wife cry. Oh me, oh my, I think I'm gonna die. Oh me, oh my, I heard me old wife say, I wish I'd never taken this excursion around the bay. Well, me wife, she got no better. My wife, me darling dear, her screeches from the trawler you could hear in Carboneer. I tried every place in Harbor Grace, tried every store and shop, to get her something for a cure or take her to the hop. Oh me, oh my, I heard me old wife cry. Oh me, oh my, I think I'm gonna die. Oh me, oh my, I heard me old wife say, I wish I'd never taken this excursion around the bay. Well, she died below the Brandies as we were coming back. We buried her in the ocean, wrapped up in a Union Jack. So now I am a single man in search of her pretty face. And the woman that says she'll have me, we're off for Harbor Grace. Oh me, oh my, I heard me old wife cry. Oh me, oh my, I think I'm gonna die. Oh me, oh my, I heard me old wife say, I wish I'd never taken this excursion around the bay. Hey!
All righty. Put your seatbelt on.
Dave Marsh there.
Thank you.
Going around that bag. That's the way you set her up. Or Banished Misfortune next? Should we do that?
Sure. Do you play melody on it, don't you?
Sure.
Do.
You gonna play
I'm just going to
concertina?
play chords.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
All right, I guess, I don't know if we've done a jig yet this evening, have we? How do we do Irish music and not play a jig? So here's a great one for you after all the year we all had last year, 2020, and with the weather we've had recently. Here's one wishing you all to banish that misfortune. That's the name of this one. It's called Banished Misfortune.
Best title in all of Irish jigdom.
I agree.
Maybe.
Thank you.
Nice playing, John.
Oh, just keep going, I guess. So
We're going to do a jig song.
there you go.
A jig with words. This is one I brought to the band, and I'm not even sure where I remember hearing this, but I've always loved this little tune about an Irish entrepreneur called the Irish Jaunting Car. It goes back to the time of Queen Victoria. And here we go, boys. We'll just
get right into it. Oops. Are we ready? Whoa, here we go. 1, 2. Well, my name is Gary Dooley. I'm a native of the soil. If you want today's diversion, I'll take you out in style. My car is painted red and green and on the door a star. And the pride of Dublin City is my Irish jaunting car. So if you want to hire me, step in the Mickey Mars and ask for Larry Doolin and his Irish jaunting cars. When Queen Victoria came to Ireland, her health all to revive, she asked the Lord Lieutenant to take her for a ride. She replied unto his greatness before they traveled far, how delightful is the jogging of the Irish jaunting car. So if you want to hire me, step into Mickey Mars and ask for Larry Doolin and his Irish jaunting car. By drunken men, teetotalers and my friends, and the carman has so much to do, his duty never ends. Night and day, both wet and dry, here I travel far, and at night I count the earnings of my Irish jaunting car. So if you want to hire me, step into Mickey Mars and ask for Larry Doolin and his Irish jaunting cars. Some say all wars are over, and I hope to God they are, for you know full well they never were good for an Irish jaunting car. But peace and plenty may they reign here both near and far, and I'll drive to feasts and festivals in my Irish jaunting car. So if you want to hire me, step into Mickey Mars and ask for Larry Doolin and his Irish. Here we go! Larry Doolin, I'm a native of the soil. If you want today's diversion, I'll take you out in style. My car is painted red and green, and on the door a star. And the pride of Dublin City is my Irish jaunting car. So if you want to hire me, step into Mickey Mars and ask for Larry Doolin and his Irish. One more time. Mickey Mars and ask for Larry Doolin and his Irish jaunting car.
Oh, now what was the name of that song there? That was a great one.
Irish jaunting car.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, I guarantee there's nothing like this anywhere on television. And I have to admit, I did slip and touch the fog machine a little bit. It got a little foggy here, and the guy that runs our sound is actually from O'Neill, and you'll be happy to know he's in heaven tonight because his name is Christian Walsh. Can't get more Irish than that. Christian, come down here for a second. He's also a musician himself, and together with some of our camera crew here, they are very impressed. Christian, you don't come out from behind the thing there very often, but what's happening in O'Neill this year? You got to look at the camera.
This year in O'Neill, my band Mason Michaels and Backroad Spirits, we're playing there both Friday and Saturday.
Oh, where at?
Chesterfield West.
You grew up in O'Neill or outside of O'Neill?
In O'Neill, at Chesterfield West, pretty much.
You did not grow up there. You just turned 21. He had no idea where that was at. And your family, Irish?
Yes, very Irish. Walsh is, I believe, number 2 in the top 5 Irish last names.
Oh, there you go. And now he's in O'Neill. Well, Christian, thank you. We'll be glad to have you in O'Neill. You guys sound great. This is the first time you've played in a year, basically.
Pretty much with this group.
Because of this group, yeah. And what's it feel like to get out there and perform, even though there's an empty Playmore Ballroom here?
Well, you said that there'd be lots of smiles out there. I think there's lots of smiles up here too.
I've noticed.
We're having a great time. And I'm really impressed with these young guys actually tapping.
You see their heads
feet.
tapping there? Yeah.
I think we must be playing in rhythm, I guess.
Well, this guy over here is going to the Navy in the summer, and we're going to get him on TV someday, sooner than later. Noah, in our system, he was ready to say the prayer at a moment's notice. He's great. And this guy over here, Skyler, he's a pole vaulter at UNL.
Really? Wow.
And he recently, did you break the pole or what happened? I can't remember. He got injured somehow pole vaulting, so he bruised his heel. That's right. But they are loving the band tonight. They're loving the music, and we hope you are too. One of the great things about News Channel Nebraska's Quarantine Tonight is it's not a high-dollar production, but it's high-quality entertainment, and these guys are putting it on. And I hope in your living room you're getting a little excited for St. Patrick's Day, because we are as well. We're going to have more with Paddywhack coming right up. A reminder, tomorrow night, the Shadow Ridge Band, they're all country. And then Wednesday night, Johnny Ray Gomez, who does arrange our talent, has given the show on Wednesday hours and hours and hours of his time. We have arranged 4 different aspiring artists, young artists, that are going to come on, and they're going to entertain you with lots of music from all over the state of Nebraska. One of them was even on national television singing in one of those competition shows. So that and more coming up. But after this, we'll have Paddywhack right here on NCN.
Tonight's episode of Quarantine Tonight is brought to you by Do Right Right Now. Tonight's episode of Quarantine Tonight is brought to you by Do Right Right Now.
Welcome back to Quarantine Tonight right here on News Channel Nebraska, brought to you by the Heritage at Fountain Point. We're going to talk more about that coming up here in just a little bit, and we hope that you're enjoying the show. We are certainly enjoying having you here. This is something I guarantee you're going to enjoy if you at all are anywhere near being Irish. I've got Irish in my system. I've got Dane, but the Irish folks don't get a lot of this in especially rural parts of Nebraska, and this band has been performing for 41 years. Now, not all of them at the same time, but who originally started the band?
Originally, it was Chris and Dan Newton.
It was me and a fellow named Dan Newton.
And what made you do this?
Well, I had been playing actually country and western swing, but I always had this. I'm a complete nerd, and I always loved the really old stuff. And people would make fun of me, and my family would just say, "What is wrong with you?"
And where did you grow up? What town?
Here in Lincoln.
Okay.
Yeah, and. It's just when I met Dan, it was our one chance. I thought it was my one chance to actually be able to do this in public. And
now, are you Irish?
I have about 10%. Terry is the real Irishman in the band. Yeah.
I'd say Ireland's done pretty good under your watch in Nebraska, and you're the Irishman in the group.
Yes, my grandmother came over here from Ireland. Actually, I have Irish citizenship because of that.
Really?
Yeah, you can. If it goes back 2 generations, you can get Irish citizenship. So.
Did you get a passport from them?
I could. Some of my siblings have done that. I haven't done that. But
you just start handing them out at the gate. Which one do you want? The American one or the Irish one?
That's right.
That is good. Well, I tell you what, this is just fantastic. You've done a great job, and on behalf of all of our viewers, we're ready to see what instrument you have next. You've got the accordion here. You've got your whistles, you've got your, what do you call that drum thing that you were playing there?
It's called a boron.
Okay.
It's made out of the skin of a goat.
Oh,
They used
yeah.
to make them out of skins of Englishmen, but that got kind of expensive.
Oh! Well, I'm glad they transitioned to goats. Otherwise, it would be called evidence. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Paddywhack right here on News Channel
All right,
Nebraska.
Thank you so much. Here's, we don't stick strictly to the Irish. We love the Irish music, but we travel around. We've done some Scottish tunes for you, and now we're going to do some, if you go a little bit to the north and to the east of the Scottish land, there's an island out there called the Shetland Islands.
Terry, it's only 200 nautical miles from Norway, so there is a Scandinavian influence.
Absolutely. Well, and the names of these tunes have Scandinavian sound to them. The first one is Merry Boys of Greenland, and then there's one called Alafjord Jack. Willafjord. Yeah, it sounds pretty Scandinavian to me.
So this is our Viking set.
But they have a great fiddle tradition there in the Shetland Islands, and so here's some tunes from there. 1, 2, 3, 4.
could see a few puffins flying around out there.
Puffins.
A lot of puffins in the Shetland Islands.
Some Shetland ponies there, too.
All right, here's a song that used to that sailors used to use to not only teach their children the alphabet, but teach them the vocabulary that goes along with being a sailor.
Teach them to talk like sailors?
Not to talk like a sailor, but just know the vocabulary of a sailor, of a true sailor, not your sailor vocabulary. There is a chorus that you out there in television land can participate in, if you'd like. When I sing merrily, you say merrily, and I'll sing again merrily, and you say merrily. So merry sail we, no mortal on earth's like a sailor at sea. So heave away, haul away, the ship rolls along. Give a sailor his grog and there's nothing goes wrong. A's for the anchor that lies at our bow. B's for the bowsprits, the jibs all lie low. And C's for the capstan that we all run around. And D's for the davits to lower the boat down. Oh, merrily, 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 merrily. So merry sail we, no mortal on earth's like a sailor at sea. Oh, heave away, haul away, the ship rolls along. Give a sailor his grog and there's nothing goes wrong. E's for the ensign that at our mast flew. F's for the forecastle where lives our crew. And G's for the galley where the salt junk smells strong. And H is for halyards we hoist with a song. Oh, merrily, 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 merrily. So merry sail we, no mortal on earth's like a sailor at sea. Oh, heave away, haul away, the ship rolls along. Give a sailor his grog and there's nothing goes wrong. I's for the eye bolts, good for the feet. J's for the jib, standing by the lee sheet. Oh, K's for the knighthead, where the petty officers stand. And L is for lee side, hard found by new hands. Oh, merrily, 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 merrily. So merry sail we, no mortal on earth's like a sailor at sea. Oh, heave away, haul away, the ship rolls along. Give a sailor his grog and there's nothing goes wrong. M's for the mainmast, it's stout and it's strong. N's for the needle that never points wrong. And O's for the oars of this old jolly boat. And P's for the pinnace that lively do float. Oh, merrily, 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 merrily. So merry sail we, no mortal on earth's like a sailor at sea. Oh, heave away, haul away, the ship rolls along. Give a sailor his grog and there's nothing goes wrong. For the quarterdeck where the officers stand. R's for the rudder that keeps the ship in command. And S is for stunsails that drive her along. And T's for the topsail to get there takes long. Oh, merrily, 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 merrily. So merry sail we, no mortal on earth like a sailor at sea. Oh, heave away, haul away, the ship rolls along. Give a sailor his grog and there's nothing goes wrong. U's for the uniforms mostly worn aft. V's for the vangs running from the main gap. And W's for water, we're on a pint and a pound. And X marks the spot where old Stormy was drowned. Oh, merrily, 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 merrily. So merry sail we, No mortal on earth's like a sailor at sea. Oh, heave away, haul away, the ship rolls along. Give a sailor his rod and there's nothing goes wrong. Wise for the yardarm needs a good sailor man. Z is for Zoe, I'm her fancy man. Z's also for zero in a cold winter time. And now I have brought all my letters to rhyme. Oh, merrily, 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 so merry sail we. No mortal on earth like a sailor at sea. Oh, heave away, haul away, the ship rolls along. Give a sailor his grog and there's nothing goes wrong. Thank you.
Wow, Dave, you did all 26 verses. That's pretty good.
4 letters to a verse.
Are we going to stick with the sailor tunes? So we'll do, this is probably the most famous of a lot of them.
Whoa. Was that me?
Anyway, this is,
I think it was.
is that you, Terry? Anyway, this is one that I think most music scholars kind of point to Ireland as the origins of this one, or at least Irish, so it's a very famous one, and the story goes that this used to drive the English a little crazy when the Irish would sing this, but I can't, vouch for that because I wasn't there. But
Right.
even though
Although you've been around for 40-some years.
sometimes when I look at myself, I think
That's
yeah,
because the
he's
English
been there.
didn't drink.
Anyway, so we're going to do a little tune. You've probably heard of it before. It's called The Drunken Sailor. We'll start as a waltz. What
Shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? Lie in the morning.
Pull out the plug and wet him all over. Pull out the plug, wet him all over. Pull out the plug, wet him all over. Lie in the morning. Hey, hey, and up she rises. Way, hey, and up she rises. Way, hey, hey, up she rises. Lie in the morning. What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor? Early in the morning. Put him in a leaky boat and make him Baylor. Put him in a leaky boat and make him Baylor. Put him in a leaky boat and make him Baylor. Early in the morning. Way, hey, up she rises. Way, hey, up she rises. Way, hey, up she rises. Early in the morning. And what shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor? Early in the morning. Take him and shake him and try and wake him. Take him and shake him and try and wake him. Take him and shake him and try and wake him. Early in the morning. Way, hey, and up she rises. Way, hey, up she rises. Way, hey, and up she rises. Early in the morning. And what shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor? Early in the morning. Shave his belly with a rusty razor. Shave his belly with a rusty razor. Shave his belly with a rusty razor. Early in the morning. Way, hey, up she rises. Way, hey, up she rises. Way, hey, up she rises. Early in the morning.
What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor? Early in the morning, put him in the brig with the captain's daughter. Put him in the brig with the captain's daughter. Have you ever seen the captain's daughter? Early in the morning, way hey, and up she rises, way hey, and up she rises, way hey, and up she rises early in the morning. What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor? What shall we do with a drunken sailor? Early in the morning, give him the hair of the dog that bit him. Give him the hair of the dog that bit him. Give him the hair of the dog that bit him. Early in the morning, way hey, and up she rises, way hey, and up she rises, way hey, up she rises early in the morning.
We could have gone on forever. I thought we better end it.
Sailor's had it, I think.
Yeah.
All right, let's do these. We got a set of tunes we'd like to do for you here.
Yeah.
Start this off with actually a French tune, a beautiful little French tune, a little bourrie. One called the Crescent Hen, and we'll pick it up with a slip jig, which is an Irish tune called the Butterfly.
Butterfly.
And finish it up with a nice Irish reel called the Pigeon on the Gate.
Okay, Chrissy.
Are you ready?
Yep.
Wow, that is the closest thing I've ever seen to an Irish jam session. That's kind of what it was. On News Channel Nebraska, right here, right now, here. Wonderful job, just a wonderful job. What do you call that song?
That last song was a reel called Pigeon on the Gate.
Oh, my goodness.
Pigeon on the Gate, yeah.
Wow.
Inspiration comes from everywhere.
Pardon?
They have those pigeons here in Nebraska.
Yeah, I haven't seen them. They don't fly off into my hometown in Madison County, but we are here in Lancaster County. Wouldn't you like to know where we are? We are at a special undisclosed location somewhere south of the Platte River, and we have this wonderful group here called Paddywhack. They have been doing this for 41 years, and we are getting the benefit of them tonight, and we hope that you're enjoying it at home. Reminder, we have the Shadow Ridge Band tomorrow night, some country music, and then we have newcomers coming on Wednesday night. We'll have a special guest host that night, Johnny Ray Gomez, and your favorite brand new artists. Gentlemen, as you get ready, what instruments, what songs do we have here to wind things out after we take a quick break?
How much time do we have?
How much time do we have? Well, we're going to take a little break here, probably about 3.5 minutes, so I'd say about 20 minutes.
Okay.
You have a song that probably goes 20 minutes, I would imagine.
We might.
4 or 5 of them.
I said to the camera guy over here, I was just getting ready to come back on stage. He's like, oh, they're just getting warmed up. That's pretty good, isn't it, though? And he likes the violin, and he's a violinist, so he said that guy's really good on the violin. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll get these guys warmed up. We'll be back. You're watching News Channel Nebraska.
Tonight's episode of Quarantine Tonight is brought to you by Do Right Right Now. Tonight's episode of Quarantine Tonight is brought to you by Do Right Right Now.
All right, you're watching News Channel Nebraska. I said earlier that I was from Madison County. Well, this guy here has got a brother-in-law named John Hanson from Newman Grove, who we know very well, a friend of the Nebraska Farmers Union, and I work with him in another job during my daytime. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Paddywhack. What are we going to do here in our final time together?
Well, we're going to start by having Chris sing you one. Chris, you want to tell them about it?
Well, this is one of my favorite Irish tunes called "The Star of the County Down," about a fella who is smitten with a young lady who is wearing no shoes.
The horror.
That was, a big deal.
Think how far we've come.
It's still a pretty big deal for some people.
It could be.
You know what's funny is, my wife grew up as a child of whatever beaches they had in Columbus. Like, she did not wear shoes. Yeah. And her feet are like leather, I always say. Mine are the same as at my birth at Emmanuel Hospital in Omaha, Nebraska. Like, nothing has changed. So, all right, let's do this. Paddywhack right here on News Channel Nebraska.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2.
Near Bambridge town in the county down one morning in July. Down a big boreen came a small colleen as she smiled as she passed me by. She looked so neat with her 2 bare feet and the sheen of her nut brown hair. Such a coaxing elf I'd to pinch myself for to know was I really there. And then from Bantry Bay up to Derry Quay, and from Galway to Dublin town, no maid I've seen like the fair Colleen that I met at the county down. I see onward I scratched my head and I felt with the feeling rare. Well, says I to a passerby, who's the maid with the nut brown hair? Well, he smiled at me and replied, says he, that's the gem of old Ireland's crown. That's Molly McGann from the banks of the Bann. She's the star of the county down. And then from Bantry Bay up to Derry Quay, and from Galway to Dublin town, no maid I've seen like the fair Colleen that I met at the county down. The harvest fair should be surely there, so I'll dress in my Sunday best, with my shoes shine bright and my hat cocked right, for a smile from the nut brown rose. No pipe I'll smoke, no horse I'll yoke, till my plough is a rusty brown, till smiling bright by my own fine lights is the star of the county down. And then from Bantry Bay up to Derry Quay, and from Galway to Dublin town, no maid I've seen like the fair Colleen that I met at the county down. From Bantry Bay up to Derry Quay, and from Galway to Dublin town, no maid I've seen like the fair Colleen that I met in the county down.
About polkas and then General Guinness. Yeah, thank you. All right, you know, I've seen this show a few times. I think you've had a polka band or two on here. And we're not a polka band, but we are going to play some Irish polkas for you right now.
The Irish polka as well.
That's right.
It's not just the German and Czech.
You know, really, who doesn't polka? That's what I would have to say. Anyway, these are some Irish polkas for you. And they go something like this. You guys ready? Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4. Irish polka. You want to do General Guinness?
Yeah. We're going to get Terry to sing a song about one of his favorite brews. Am I right, Terry?
It's one of mine.
And yours, too?
Yes. That's right. Well, and if you...
Fog's getting you.
Yeah, that fog is going to get thick tonight with all the smelting, you know, guys.
The smelting. That was me. Sorry, that was me for sure.
Wow.
Sorry about that. Yeah, this is a song about something I think a lot of us here like. It's called General Guinness. If I can remember all these words, there's a whole lot of them. Here we go. You've heard of General Wellington who won at Waterloo. Well, here's a good old Irishman I'll introduce to you. He hails from dear old Dublin, he's a man we all applaud. For he always finds a corkscrew far more handy than a sword. He's a good old General Guinness, he's a soldier strong and stout. He's found on every bottle front and can't be done without. His noble name has worldwide fame preserved through hearty cheers. Hurrah for General Guinness of the Dublin Boozers. This hale and hearty warrior, he worships in the ranks, for he does his task inside the cask as well as in the tanks. He's borne the brunt on every front, north, south, east, and west, and he wears about 10,000 canteen medals on his chest. He's good old General Guinness, he's won the world's applause. It was he who kept our spirits up in the midst of all our wars, who was the first to flirt with Mademoiselle from Armentières. Why, good old General Guinness of the Dublin Boozers. All over Buddy Scotland, the general is seen. They've given him the crowns of the town of Aberdeen. From Inverness to Gallows Shields, they keep him warm at night, for they love to gather round him on every moonlit night. He's good old General Guinness, he's good as Scottish broth. It was he who turned the Firth of Forth into the Firth of Froth. All Scotsmen dance the Highland fling and shout when he appears. Hurrah for General Guinness of the Dublin Boozers. I made it through most of those words. We got the ending, didn't we?
You pinned the ending. That's the main thing.
Steve would say, nailed it.
Well, how much time do we got left?
I think we got time for
7.5 minutes.
One more.
8 minutes? Maybe 2 more. You got another? How about we do one more, like acapella or something like that?
Okay. You want to do another sea shanty?
Sure.
Let's do, this is one we learned from a group called the Watersons. And there's a lot of versions of this. There's
Well, you're just having fun.
the Dubliners. And
All I did was tighten the snare.
yeah, I know. You've got a sensitive mic, my friend. These sound guys are in heaven when they hear that, right? Oh, yeah. They're all going to be going, oh, man, these old guys.
They keep messing with stuff. Why can't they just leave it alone?
They don't care about their hearing anymore. Okay, it's called All For Me Grog, and it goes like this. All for me grog, for me jolly, jolly grog. All for me grog and tobacco. Oh, I spent all me store with the lassies on the shore, and it's all for me grog and tobacco. When I come home and my sweetheart I shall see, all for me grog and tobacco. And my sweetheart will sing when she sees the wedding ring, and it's all for me grog and tobacco. Everybody, all for me grog, for me jolly, jolly grog. It's all for me grog and tobacco.
Oh, I spent all me store with the lassies on the shore, and it's all for me grog and tobacco. And when she's a son for to dangle on her knee, it's all for me grog and tobacco. And she'll sing him asleep while I sail the stormy deep, and it's all for me grog and tobacco. You know it. All for me grog, for me jolly, jolly grog. It's all for me grog and tobacco. Oh, I spent all me store with the lassies on the shore, and it's all for me grog and tobacco. Oh, when he's a man and a sailor he shall be, it's all for me grog and tobacco. With his pipe and his can like a proper sailor man, and it's all for me grog and tobacco. One more. All for me grog, for me jolly, jolly grog. All for me grog and tobacco. I spent all me store with the lassies on the shore, and it's all for me grog and tobacco.
All right. We got one more for you if you got time for it. You do? Okay.
So this is a traditional ending song in the pubs, I believe.
There's a lot. Typically,
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry, Chris, but
No, go
typically, a lot of times in the bar they'll sing this a cappella, but we're going to not do that this time.
Yeah, and we're going to get Dave and Terry to play some nice little solos on this, so we better get to work.
All right.
And I'll do the first one with you. Okay. Here we go. Of all the money ere I spent it in good company, and all the harm I've ever done, alas, it was to none but me. And all I've done for want of wit, to memory now I can't recall. Oh, fill to me the parting glass. Good night and joy be with you all. Of all the comrades ere I had, they're sorry for my going away. And all the sweethearts ere I had, they'd wish me one more day to stay. But since it falls unto my lot that I should rise and you should not, I gently rise and softly call, good night and joy be with you all. If I had money enough to spend and leisure time to sit a while, there is a fair maid in this town who sorely has my heart beguiled. Her rosy cheeks and ruby lips, I own she has my heart in thrall. Then fill to me the parting glass. Good night and joy be with you all. Then fill to me the parting glass. Good night and joy be with you all.
Fantastic. Wow. There's few things that have us delay the 10 o'clock news, and that is one of them right there. It is so fine. We loved it. It's Paddywhack right here on News Channel Nebraska's Quarantine Tonight. It is 10:02, 9:02 Mountain. Time now for news. Good night.